You've got it tuned to 90.3 FM, KEXP, and streaming worldwide at KEXP.org. I am so excited to have Springtime Carnivore live in the KEXP studios. You guys got a couple songs for us?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
This one's called Keep Confessing.
Springtime Carnivore live in the KEXP studios. Got another one for us.
Yeah, this one's called Two Scars.
90.3 FM KEXP with Springtime Carnivore. Man, that sounded so great.
Thanks.
Yeah, those are two songs from the self-titled debut album that came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
Love the record, one of my favorites of last year.
Thanks.
And you're playing guitar today, and I wanted to ask you, when you started out, actually, maybe if you could do some introductions.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Greta, and I'm playing the guitar and singing. And this is Jackie Hauser playing keys, Nick Price on the drums, Adam Wayne Schneider on the bass.
Nice. And you're playing guitar today. You started out playing piano when you were young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How old were you?
Very, very young. I remember my first piano lesson involved coloring in the keys. So I think
Wow.
that's not even quite piano.
Yeah.
It was like probably toddler music class.
Nice. Did you all know that you wanted to be a musician back then?
Yeah, as like a secret wish. You know, I sort of realized, I saw other kids say, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. And somehow I thought saying you wanted to play music was equally silly. So I think I usually said I wanted to do something else, but I had a secret dream.
Right. And you realized that as a teenager, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I had thought I wanted to be a music journalist.
Oh,
and I
really?
started a zine in 8th grade called Trash Magazine.
Oh, nice.
We interviewed
I read that.
we interviewed all these local bands and wrote about our favorite venues in Chicago. And I remember as I was interviewing bands, I thought that it seemed like they were having so much fun. And it kind of occurred to me from about 13 to 16 when I was doing all this, I was like, wow, actually, maybe being in the band is a good idea because it seems like more fun than writing about it to me.
Sure. No, that totally makes sense. And then you were in the Hush Sound and then Gold Motel.
Yeah.
And those were both in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. And then you moved to LA?
Well, I lived in LA between the Hush Sound and Gold Motel for a little while. And I sort of like planted some seeds that years later would grow into a garden of friendships. I'm really sorry.
I see. And when did Springtime Carnivore start?
I guess about 2 years ago, I started recording the demos just for myself. And then I kind of just had this like very strong feeling that I should keep writing and recording on my own. And then it kind of just naturally became a project. Like the Autumn Tone record label became involved and all of a sudden tours started coming in. And I don't know, just great things started happening. So I kind of figured, let's run with this.
Well, and it's because of the sound, and it has kind of a retro, maybe girl group sound a little bit, dreamy pop. Was that something, is that reflective of what you were listening to growing up?
Yeah, you know, I think I will always lean on very classic kind of 60s and 70s song structures, but I don't want it to feel like kickbacky.
Sure.
Like I don't like the kind of, you know, music was so much better then connotation because there's so much amazing music being made now. So there's definitely like an attitude of, you know, I'll think about a modern band, like how would Air record a Joni Mitchell song from Blue if they were to do that or whatever, or how would Depeche Mode do a girl group song? And I think that that's sort of the place where these songs came from.
Sure.
Yeah.
Put your own take on that sound.
Yeah.
And the name Springtime Carnivore, I have to ask you, how did that come about?
Well, I was, I always say that I feel like I'm on Portlandia whenever I talk about like creativity, but I was doing a free write.
Where were you?
Artists often do. No, I was doing a free write at my mom's house in Illinois, and the home that I grew up in backs up to a forest preserve, so there are animals around all the time.
Oh, wow.
And on this particular day, a coyote walked across the path, and I just wrote, like, when the springtime carnivores come out of the woods. And then the next day when I was reading through just like a whole bunch of vomitous garbage writing, that phrase struck me as like, that's actually kind of cool. I'll hold on to that. And now coyotes are my good luck charm. Whenever I see one, something great happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was in my backyard and I saw a coyote, my band name would be I'm Running Inside the House and Hiding.
Yeah. My band name would be Shit, Coyote.
Right. And you played most of the instruments on the record.
Yeah, other than bass.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Cool. And you
most
worked
of it.
with Richard Swift?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so Richard, I had all these demos that I'd sent to him, and he was responsive right away, which was amazing for me because I've been a fan of his for such a long time, but we never knew each other.
Yeah.
And so he responded, and he basically was like, why don't you come up to the studio for 5 days, and we'll hang out and see if we want to make a record together. So then in that 5 days, we finished 3 songs, and we were planning to reconnect a few months later, but then he joined the Black Keys.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And so he had sort of said, like, I'd love to finish the record, but it might be 7 or 8 months from now. And at that point, I had been kind of, you know, what I thought was demoing all the material, recording on my own. And the label and I sort of agreed, like, maybe this is the album. maybe
see.
these demos could just be
These could
polished up a
actually
little
work.
bit. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and he worked with the Shins, right?
He
among
played
others.
keys in the Shins, and I know he's kind of helped like co-produce some of their stuff.
Okay.
At least the new song that I heard recently, I know he recorded.
Very cool.
Yeah.
One thing I read, and I wanted to find out if this is true, during the recording of the album, did you use blown out drums at times?
Oh yeah, I mean I use some sample drums, and then some I would record where I would blend like a real, kind of sticking a microphone on a snare or whatever, a microphone on a kick, and doubling it with an electronic drum.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know. It's all the whole album that happened is like I don't know how that happened. It just like went in every day.
But
and
it just all came together.
Yeah, it was very, very like I don't know, like the way that I can really appreciate the folk art movement of people who are extremely untrained and wind up kind of creating all these like outside the box ideas. That's kind of the way I approach recording. Like I don't really know the technicals of anything.
Sure.
It's just sort of like, oh, that sounds cool. Dial that knob this way. And now let's put it down.
It just comes down to having a great ear for that's the sound.
Oh, thanks.
I wanted to ask also about your videos. So,
Oh, yeah.
Name on a Matchbook. I thought that was a great video.
Thanks. Jackie is the bass player, by the way.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
in the video, she's the bass player,
Yeah.
and she had such good Paul McCartney moves. I don't think they even all made it in, but I love the Paul McCartney moves.
It's so awesome. Can you describe what the video
So
concept?
the video is a kind of Beatlemania flip where it's an all-girl band and men losing their shit, peeing in their pants, fainting, chasing the limousine, kind of insane fanaticism where, all these men are following a girl band around. And it was interesting because I had read this article Nico Case wrote about groupie-dom and sort of how female artists don't have male groupies.
Sure.
And I remember that really kind of sticking with me. And then a few weeks later, my friend Bryce pitched this video where he was like, what if we did a reverse sex Beatlemania video? And it was kind of just like the perfect storm. But it was a funny video because we made it for $500, which
Wow.
if anyone knows video budgets, that's
very low.
absurd. We had to pay $300 to rent the VFW hall where it was filmed.
Really?
So Jackie and I were literally changing behind a dumpster, behind a laundromat. And we were calling ourselves the Dumpster Divas because we were out there putting on this like really glamorous 60s makeup with our makeup bags and like our shoes underneath the dumpster.
Wow. Well, the video came out great, and I highly recommend checking that out. I felt like that could happen to me. I could be crying or screaming or passing out at your shows. So
Are you going to be there tonight?
I might.
We'll get the ambulance.
Yeah,
later
yeah.
for you.
Hopefully it won't happen during the next two songs.
Okay.
Before we get back to the music, I wanted to ask you about your tour. So I've heard you had a few interesting things happen during the tour.
I feel like we should tell these as a collective effort. The last 24 hours have been the craziest 24 hours of a tour. So like before this tour, we were driving Nick's van on this trip. And a few days before the tour, the front license plate was stolen off his van. And he very casually mentioned, like, by the way, guys, the plate got stolen. I reported it. We might get pulled over at some point. In the last month, we have gone through probably 30 or 40 states. We've gone in and out of Canada. No problems at all.
You've been fine.
We roll into Idaho, and within 10 minutes, there are 2 cop cars trailing us. And Jackie's driving. She was like, I only went 8 miles over the limit. Do you think there could really be 2 cops after us because of 8 miles over the limit? And so I suggested, like, why don't we get off at this exit just to see if they're following us or if we're in someone else's kind of line of fire.
Sure.
So we get off at the exit, and there are 3 other cop cars at the exit waiting for us.
What?
And one by one, we were detained at gunpoint.
What?
By probably 5 or 6 cops in 5 cop cars. Had to put our hands over our head, walk backwards, sidestep to the vehicles, handcuffed, put in the back of cop cars until they realized that Nick was the owner of the van.
That
they
is
thought
crazy.
It was Grand Theft Auto.
That's completely
And
crazy.
also, the thing was, Nick and Adam and I remembered, like, oh, the plate got stolen. It's not a big deal. Jackie, who was driving, had no idea what was happening the whole time.
Unbelievable. Wow. That's where you need like a pack of coyotes to show up and
I know,
protect
right?
you.
Where was my coyote then? Well, okay, so then, actually, we should flash back. Right before this happened, we had been at a truck stop where we almost bought a bunch of funny weapons just because they were for sale. They had like brass knuckles with bats on them.
It happens.
And nunchucks. We just overheard Adam go, "Pardon me, ma'am, how much are the nunchucks?" And they had like all these samurai swords and knives that you could wear around your neck. Jackie tried one on and the knife fell out, almost stabbed herself in the foot. But we had almost bought all these weapons, and then we were imagining what would have happened if we got pulled over for Grand Theft Auto. we had a bunch of funny weapons in the car. We were lucky on that front.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a crazy tour. Hopefully things will go smoothly from here on out and you won't have any more issues like that.
So. Then we hit a porcupine.
Springtime Carnivore live in the studios. Thank you guys for coming in. You got a couple more songs for us.
Yeah, we do.
And I'll make sure no porcupines come in during this set.
We've got a lot of quills in our tires.
Springtime Carnivore live on KEXP.
Okay, this song is called Creature Feature.
Springtime Carnivore live on KEXP. Got one more for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
All right, this next one is called Name on a Matchbook. Wait, hold 1 second.
No.
Sorry. We just whistle Milli Vanilli'd ourselves. I have to be honest, the whistle's pre-recorded because it's impossible to whistle into a microphone live over a band.
The same thing.
Oh, really? Okay, that makes me feel better. Andrew Bird somehow is a whistling superhero, but my whistles just sound like this. Here we go.
So long,
shut the door. So long, until you prove me wrong. So long, until you prove me wrong. I got your name on a matchbook. I leave your face in the past. So long, until you prove me wrong. I'll leave your books unread, your mouth unkissed, your bed could stay all made up, step too easily to a possibility. Is it wrong that I want more? I wonder as I shut the door. So long, until you prove me wrong. So long, until you prove me wrong. Got your name on a matchbook. I leave your face in the past. So long, until you prove me wrong. So long, until you prove me wrong. So long, until you prove me wrong. I got your name on a matchbook. I leave your face in the past. So long, until you prove me wrong. So long, until you prove me wrong.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.